race of the 2023 Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup season has arrived at the weekend. Here is what happened yesterday evening under the famous floodlights here in Qatar. Victory for the champion on the number 7 and Ogiwara on the number 16. The lead was changing lap by lap. It was a fantastic race between. No one else was able to get anywhere near the Mazawa, who eventually finished in back. This is what happened though at the final corner. 3 abreast into turn 16. Adaki up the inside, thought he'd got the job done, but then that happened. A high side out of the final corner for the Japanese rider, and this is what it left. Pratama cruised past Ogiwara on the number, and Shinya Ozawa claimed 3rd place, benefiting.
Have then the champion, as Elliot said, already decided this season. It's been an...
And 3rd, Ozawa's 4th with Matani, and Takahiro, the wildcard rider for the 3rd time this year, rounding out row 3. Mailand, he'll be wanting to break the mould as Al Zahuti then has had a problem on the grids, the Qatari rider.
Let's see
he might
then.
Have just stalled it.
Possibly, yeah. He seems to have realised very quickly before they've all set off as well, so not sure. So yeah, hopefully then he'll be, if we're wrong, we're sorry. Moving down pit lane. So then, out on the warm-up lap at least then, no dramas. So good news for the number 23. Safety car just letting him through. This one then. Do we think, we were talking yesterday about Pratama, his calling card, but he did have that incredible advantage in qualifying. Will he be able to do that in this race where the conditions are a little bit different? Or have those on the chase had a lot more track time?
In the Asia Talent Cup, he knows what it takes, and he knows how 20 points clear of Puetazan, and then how close it is between 2nd, 3rd and 4th there. Puetazan, Adaki and Matani. Like you said, Fran, Matani and Puetazan were in that sort of second group.
So, very different second race then here.
Here they are then, the red lights are on, the revs are up, and we are underway for race 2, and it once again is a great start from pole position for Veda 16. Yes, it is, using the slipstream down into turn 1, but it is going to be Pratama, Puetazan on the number 20.
He'll know after yesterday he's got the pace 2 run at the front. Zawa as well looking for a move, but Adaki makes it stick.
Yesterday made a mistake at the final corner in the early exchanges, and that ultimately...
Straight as well. Pratama very wide there, not too wide, but very wide. So start to home in on those ahead, and now Mitani ends up very wide off the track, but you can see already they've concertinaed up round.
Try and overtake the number 20 of Puetazan, losing places after a good start is Puetazan. That's Azara on the 21 diving up the inside and concertinaed up again like they did yesterday, and now...
But I don't think we quite saw that as clearly first time round on the live, so thank you very much TV gods for that replay. So just a bit of a no man's land in 4th until that final corner.
Has probably just woken him up a bit, and he's had a moment again on the second lap, and so does Takahiro. Puetazan wide, Nicholas wide as well in the background, so they're all concertinaed up together. The top sort of 7 is pretty much locked together now. A few mistakes though, they're clearly pushing in the early exchanges as we complete lap 2.
About track limits until we get another dramatic moment here. It's only the parts painted green that count as track limits, and that doesn't include the lovely bits of green in the runoff designs here in Qatar. It's the bits right next to the track that are green. So in theory, they should have all been a bit penalised by those errors there, but they've all gathered it back up. Pratama's still...
Just broken the group behind him, Ozawa. This is sort of what he did yesterday, but then he made a mistake, didn't he, at the final corner. Got too much onto the curb, into the braking zone, ran wide, lost a good...
But Matani, it was doing some great work and seemed to have made... yeah, I think Puetazan, though, seems to have... so far...
Yeah, good stuff from Al Zahuti. Obviously, he would have been a little bit flustered after making the mistake, or something went wrong at least on the grid before the start. He was looking to start from P13, but ultimately had to start from the back of the grid. So good job so far. We said watch out for Nicholas. He's made great ground again, but he's with Puetazan, who's just dropped out. Way to go, of course. Pratama still leading the way from Ogi behind at the minute. This is the number 16 as the duo pulls slightly clear of Adaki and Azara. Not sure if something happened between the two Japanese riders.
On others as well, but yeah, there is a significant gap now as it is at the moment ahead of them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued pushing on to be making that mistake a few times. But like I said, it's not green, so it's not track limits. Let's see.
Try and claw back the disadvantage they've found themselves in, but all this battling away between the duo. The machine, a little tap as we so often see, just to say to the rider behind,
and
stick
that always
behind me.
works as well, so yeah, it makes sense they always do it.
It almost never works, of course. National circuit, back with the leaders. These are live pictures as Ozawa and Adaki both run off.
On the track around there at turn 15, because certainly of the top sort of 7, 8, 9, say, unless there's absolute fireworks at the front, it looks like we're going to have
I think, Fran, you are right. Pratama and Ogiwara are just setting a pace that no one else is able to match. It'll be interesting to see if Azara's quicker per lap than anyone else at this moment in time.
They've gone, haven't they? They seem to have checked out on the chase, so could be an interesting one though. Still 7 laps to go after, well, 6 laps to go after this one. So yeah, this could be a fascinating duel to the finish. And Ogiwara certainly in the lead of this little trio. Let's see what happens at turn 1 though, because I'm sure there will be a shuffle once more.
6 laps to go then in the final race of the season. Hafai on the 19 pulls out of the slipstream and tries to make a 2-in-1 move down at turn 1. Has he got the job done? It looks like he has. Matani late on the brakes on the number 2. He's going to dive at the inside of Takahira. There is your live championship standings. Ignore Pratama. He is already the champion. It's 2nd, 3rd and 4th you've got to look out for. At the moment, as things stand, Adaki on the 14th line. He's embroiled in a good battle with Nicholas, with Al Sahuti a couple of seconds adrift in P10.
I don't know. I mean, he is 2 places behind him, and it was likely his own little error on the grid, but I think slightly upstaged in terms of a comeback by Al Sahuti today, who's, like you said, just holding that top 10 position. Especially, oh, bit of a mistake there from the number 7 of Pratama. Be able to see, you can see the slipstream there perfectly as the number 16 is just able to make up those meters tucked in behind the number 7. But yeah, no drama then, but not absolute perfection from Pratama. Still the little ray of hope for Ogiwara for that silver medal. As you said, there's plenty on the line here, and I think it might be Takahira who's back at the head of that trio behind these guys.
It's here that bring you towards turn 15 and then ultimately turn 6. Pretty much full gas on these Honda 250 NSFR machines. Ogiwara with 4 laps to go in the 2023 season once they round this final corner. Pratama though looks like he's just built a little bit of an advantage, not too much to worry about, but I think Ogiwara will just get tucked up into the slipstream and use it to great effect to just claw back a 10th or 2 down the home straight. As a reminder, they've just clocked through it there with 4 laps to go. The end of the straight towards the start of the straight, which, Fran, does make a bit of a difference in terms of last lap and coming out the final corner. You used to want to probably be 2nd or maybe even 3rd to get a double slipstream towards Pratama, because he just set the fastest lap of the race at 2:11.3. Ogiwara at 2:11.4. Just over a 10th slower, and then the only other riders really in the the only other rider in the 2 minutes 12.
Let's have a look now then.
He's not crashed. He's had a bit of a mechanical, unfortunately, as the number 17. So not the way he would have liked to have ended the straight. So
this is interesting
disappointing.
Though. That is disappointing, obviously, for him. Bit of a heartbreaker. But this duel is interesting because, like this one, they've just started, and these two as well, still close as ever in the duel for 3rd.
On the podium, and not just benefit from a rider's crash in front of him. As I said, he was disappointed yesterday to be handed the podium in the way.
Behind the number 7, seeing that, there are those little, but just a little bit scrappier from a few riders today, and surprisingly, including our with Pratama at the moment, and we don't have that many kilometers now. Ogiwara thinks he's even got more speed. Maybe he'll make a move and then really try and pull out a few tenths.
To the racing line, not this time around for Ogiwara. Late on the brakes, a little bit quicky going up the inside of Izawa at turn 4, but we focus.
Speed arrives on the scene, immediately makes that move. Let's see now if he can get the hammer down and keep them behind him then. But at the front, it's as you were. Trying
to break the slipstream of Ogiwara. Ogiwara not quite able to do it down into turn 1. That's the first passing manoeuvre done, but there is plenty on this Losail International Circuit. Pratama a little bit
rest of the last lap, but at the front then. That looked like it could be a move on, but not quite. Ogiwara still in that 2nd place. Is he waiting? Has he not been able to find that gap? What do we think is going to happen in this duel? The number 16 has some big decisions to make here, because at least as the leader, yes, you got to make sure the door's shut, but you've also mainly just got to put in the cleanest, fastest lap you possibly can.
I think it's all going to come down to Takahira just wide on the exit. That might have cost him time, but here we go then. The leaders are through turns 11 and 12. 12. This is turn 14 and this is turn 15 where Pratama's made a few mistakes already this race, but no mistakes as of yet through turn 15 for Izawa. Keeps it on the straight and narrow, but this is turn 16, the last lap of the last race of the season. Ogiwara diving up the inside. No, not quite this time around. Now it's all about who can get the power down and get it on the run to the line. Pratama just keeps it inside on the black stuff. Pratama, is he going to win? Break the slipstream. Ogiwara tries, but it is Pratama for the 9th time this season who wins in the Asia Talent Cup. What a race between the top two, and this is the podium fight for Anazawa currently leading it. Adaki and Takahira close. Azawa pulls to the outside. Who's going to win? I think it's going to be Adaki who wins the fight for
on the back after that mistake and having to start from the back, but yeah,
quite enough for him to finish second in the standings. Pratama though,
Mm-hmm.